She worked at Samir. It is a research organization under Government of India for 5 years as senior research scientist, where she worked on development of high power RF amplifiers, receiver front end for indigenous MRI system, and she has also worked with microwave based bricks measurement system, development of microwave based portable moisture meters. When she worked as a research scientist she also worked as research scientist at Samir. Uh, she has also worked at Accenture earlier, prior to working at prior to her work in Samir. So I request Isha ma'am to expand and enlighten us with the idea to develop teaching modules using animations. Yeah, ma'am, over to you. Please continue with the session.
Um, Hello everyone. I hope you've had a great day of learning. Yeah, so without further ado, I'll just start. 1 second. I'll share my screen. Yeah. So the topic which we're going to discuss on is teaching modules using animation. And it feels weird to teach teachers or professors to how to teach. But yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. What I'm going to do is once you have gotten the concepts right, which most of our professors have, how to use your imagination and the right tools to present animated content to the students who can then understand it better and yeah, use it further in a better way rather than not understanding the concept at all. A little background about myself, which Pallavi already did, but I'd like to tell you certain things. So when I was a student, one of my professors was teaching me about MOSFET, and he talked about he was talking about how when we increase the gate voltage, a channel is formed, and the drain current starts to flow. For those who belong to the electronics background. So in my mind, what I could imagine was there's a clock, there's a school there's a school and there's a clock. The clock is ticking, and it's like the school closes at shuts down at like 5:30 or so. 5:28, 5:29. You're increasing the gate voltage, increasing the moment 5:30. The gate voltage increases so much so as to form the channel, and the throng of students just come out of the gate, and that is how the channel. That is how the drain current flows. Like I tried to create an analogy between the two, and I thought if we could simulate something like this, if you could show the working of a MOSFET in tandem with this kind of a concept, I'm sure students will understand it better and remember it better. So today's module is all about similar things. Let's move on. Yeah, so the session unbox. The first thing, I'm going to start with an example. Then we'll talk about what is animation as opposed to what is understood. How to animate, so what are the process steps which should go on in your mind when you want to animate a certain concept. Then there'll be a couple of more examples. Then what should you avoid? What should you do? And then the tools which you can use. I'll be talking about the free tools. There are many tools available in the market which come at an expense and they create great animations. But I'm very sure they are not needed, not required to create powerful animations for your students. Then I'll give you a couple of non-technical examples because that is something I do and very close to my heart. Then I'll talk about design basics because you're doing animation. There should be some basic design principles which you should follow. Then I'll talk about a couple of presentation guidelines, and then in front of you, I'll do a demonstration of animation of the same concept using PowerPoint as well as Canva. Okay. Please feel free to stop me and ask me a question at any point in the presentation. Pallavi, is everyone with me? I mean, are we able to listen?
Yes.
Screen is good, audio is fine?
Yes.
So the first example. So over here, what I want to demonstrate is how you can use simplified graphics to depict complex concepts. Now on the screen, I have shown you pairs of gates. This is one scenario. Each gray box is one scenario. Okay. In the first scenario, both the gates are closed. In the second scenario, one gate is open, other gate is closed, and so on. We'll move. In the first scenario, if this person wants to go to the other end, he cannot go to the other end. In the second scenario as well, even if one gate is open, he cannot go to this end. The same situation is here. The first gate is still closed. Even if this gate is open, it doesn't matter to that person. He cannot go to the other end. And it is only in the fourth scenario, wherein when both the gates are open, this guy can go to the other end. And if I choose to name this gate as A and this gate as B, and if the gate is closed, I assign it a 0. And if the gate is open, I assign it a 1. So this is the kind of combination I'll have. So in case 1, I have a 0, 0 because both the gates are closed. If the person is able to come out, I'll give a 1. If it's not able to come out, I'll give a 0. So the first scenario, 0, 0, 0. Second scenario, this gate is open, I'll give a 1. This gate is closed, I'll give a 0. The person is not able to come out, so a 0. Third scenario, gate A is closed, gate B is open. But again, the person is not able to come out, so I'll give a 0. And in the third scenario, where both the gates are open, we have a 1, 1. And yeah, the person is able to come out. And had this been a live presentation, I would have asked you, what does this table represent? So yeah, this is the truth table for an AND gate, and this is how we can explain logic gates to our students. For you, it might not make a lot of difference, but for a person who has never seen, has no idea about logic gates or has read it just once, I think this kind of visualization will make a great impact. The person will always remember this visual, and then he'll never confuse between whether 1 0 1 is 1 in AND gate or whether it is is there any question? Is there
No,
any question?
continue, ma'am.
Yeah?
Continue, ma'am.
Sure. So this is the most simple form of animation which you can do, or using graphics which you can teach. Okay, now what is animation? It is the process of imparting lifelike characteristics to non-living things. What do you do? Whenever you read a concept, you imagine. Okay, yeah, I'll take it in the further slides. So that is the core definition of animation, as against what we think that, things moving is animation. Yes, of course it is. But the basic definition of animation is when you give any lifelike characteristic to a particular non-living object, that becomes animation. Okay, now all said and done, how do we animate? There are so many complex concepts, and we would like to present them in a very certain and beautiful manner so our students can understand that. First and foremost thing, think of the concept as a person or as a human experience. The figure on the screen is that of a microwave oven, if it is not very evident. And I'm going to explain the working of a microwave oven using the principles which I'll be discussing right now. So the first and foremost thing, think of the oven or the whole oven experience as a human. So I don't know of people who are not from the RF background or not from the electronics background. I would just like to give you a background about how a microwave oven works. So once you put any food, any liquid in microwave oven, what happens is the microwave energy goes inside the food, and whatever water molecules are there in the food, they start to vibrate. And once this energy gets high enough, the molecules start to collide with each other, and once they collide, heat is generated, and that is how the food or whatever you put in the microwave gets heated. Now, how much of what I explained you remember, and how much of what we are going to see is what you remember? Let's see the difference. First and foremost, yeah, we'll use a human analogy. Let's think of water. It was sitting nicely outside the microwave oven in a very calm state. So these are the water molecules. They are smiling kind of. They are very calm, very happy. H2O. And then you imagine how would a person behave in a particular scenario. Now, this is the scenario in which the water molecules are very calm, not being they're not energized to do anything, sitting lazily. And then comes our microwave oven, and it just starts. So you have low intensity microwaves. The water molecules get curious. What is this happening? They are vibrating a little bit. Maybe some of them get too aggressive in the low intensity waves itself, but some of them are like still curious. Let's figure out what is happening. So create different cases. So first and foremost, you think of a human analogy. Then you think, how would that person or how would that situation be in different cases? And then you show different cases how it could. This is one case where the first case was when there was no microwave. There's the second case where low intensity waves are coming. They're very curious. Some of them get excited, collide with each other, and they give out heat. But others are still curious. And then comes the high intensity wave state where all of them start, they were angry, aggressive, they start colliding, and heat comes out from all the almost all the molecules hitting each other, and that is how your food gets heated. So this is one way how you could explain your students rather than the two-liners which I stated in the beginning about how microwaves heat food. I'm sure, and even research has proven that visual information with human-like content has more retainability than what you simply state. Okay. Moving to the next slide. So this is another example which I thought of. So this is a basic transmitter receiver block diagram with no bells and whistles. The most important blocks are there. Okay, so I'll just use an analogy and show you. So first and foremost is a source oscillator. So currently it's me. I'm talking and you're listening. There are some people who are continuously coming in, leaving the meeting. I need to isolate that, otherwise I won't be able to present very well. And that is something I need to isolate. So I am the source. I need to isolate the disturbances in the environment. And what I'm speaking is the transmitting antenna it is going to you. When you're listening with your eyes and ears, the visual data, and what you're listening, that is your eyes and your ears are the receiving antenna. I don't know if you're taking notes. I'm sure you're not taking notes. But when we do take notes, we remove the noise part of it. So what I talked about, like what Pallavi talked about, that I'm a product manager, I do all that. That is not relevant to you as of now. What is relevant is how to animate. You're trying to learn that, and you're taking that as your signal, which you'll amplify, and you'll remove the noise, which is this, which represents this LNA, low noise amplifier. Then you move to the filter. There'll be someone sitting beside you who wants to talk to you. Or there'll be some random noise from outside. You'll want to go home, or if you're at home, there'll be kids running around. You need to filter that noise out. And this is what this represents, the filter part. And of course, finally, if you'll apply these concepts in your presentations, or if this particular student presentation was for some student, you would apply it for in his exams or in job or in projects, that is the application. If you remember this chain, you will successfully be able to come back to this particular chain, and you'll never ever forget the transmitter and receiver basic block diagram, and you can always add in whatever is required for your particular application. But source, isolator, transmitting antenna, receiving antenna, LNA, filter application, and then the application, that is something you'll never forget. Okay, so these are the couple of examples I wanted to show you. Moving on to the next slide, what should you avoid when you animate? Fully animated concepts. No video can replace a teacher, or you simply cannot just play a video and stay back and the students are watching an amazement. Then it's a movie, it's not a teaching lesson. At most, what you can do, if there is a really great video which you want your students to see and it is longer than half a minute, pause the video at intervals, speak, and then let your students absorb what has happened. Okay, flashy images, they take the focus away from learning. So like in the microwave concept which I showed you, instead of emoticons, if I had put probably Narendra Modi's image and Amit Shah's image and they are getting angry and colliding, your focus would shift from the learning aspect to probably political aspect, and probably you would also start debating with your neighbors about which political party is better or something like that. So yeah, to avoid that. And the third one, you should not use auto-generated or foreign accent audio for your animation. Do not ever do that. It makes the content really boring. Speak in your own voice or record your voice. Speak along with the visual. So try not going for totally animated videos. Create frames. That is great. Create frames, but control them at your own pace. You have students who do not have the same pace of learning. Some students will readily learn from a video. Some students will need to ask you a doubt. So instead of what are videos? Videos are nothing but collection of frames which have automated timings. So use just frames. Don't use automated timings. Like I showed you the three slides for microwave, no microwaves, low intensity microwave, high intensity microwaves. I could very well have used a small editor and made a video out of that. And some of you would have understood, most of you would have understood, but it is not true for a person who is learning a concept for the first time. So create frames, control the speed of the frame as per the average understanding of the whole class. That's what I would like to say, which is what is the next point on what to do, that is use animated frames. The second one is use icons for creating frames and not pictures. This is something which is very typical to Canva, which is a tool I'll be discussing later. So yeah, you'll understand this better when I show the Canva portal. And the last one, which is a very common thing, it is called KISS. Keep it short and simple. Keep your animation simple. Do not add too many images. Keep text as less as possible. Yes, so these are the basic rules for what to do in animation. What are the tools to use? My favorite and most favorite tool for animation is PowerPoint presentation animations. No need to go and learn any other software to put your point across to students in a great manner, which I'll show you in some future slides. I'll show how you can animate a particular concept using PowerPoint, and it turns out to be much better than Canva actually. Then there is free videos window editor. That is great. I don't use it much, but you can always try. In fact, Pallavi can help you with that. She uses. And then you have Canva. So Canva comes in. It's a premium tool. So you have a trial version which you can use throughout, and then you have the full, the paid version in which you have the full access, which is great. But even with the trial version, you can do a lot of things. These are some non-technical examples which I use animation for. So this is from a page which I host. It's called Engram, short form for English grammar. So here I wanted to talk about the difference between your and you are, which people misuse commonly. So your is a possessive pronoun, while you are is used to tell some attribute about some person. What I just spoke may not have made much sense to you, but when I say your food to a cock or a hen, what she will know, oh, that's my food. But when I say you are food, she will get scared and oh my God, are they going to cut me up and cook me and eat me? So presenting it in this way, someone will remember better the difference between your and you are than me saying that your is a possessive pronoun and you are tells an attribute about yourself. Okay, moving to the next app. It is so difficult to talk without getting a response from the audience, but yeah, that is the con of online presentation. Moving to the next example. Yeah, it is about, I wanted to explain the difference between catch versus hold. And the whole point between difference is you catch something which is moving, and you hold something after you have got it, or something which is not moving. You hold your pen, but you catch a ball. You can also catch a pen if somebody is throwing it to you. So I use two scenarios. One is the two ladies. One is saying, "Please hold my baby." The baby is very happy. Yeah, sure, I'll hold your baby. Second scenario, please catch my baby. And the other one says, oh, you mean catch? Okay, then throw it. And the baby is like, oh no. So you need to create such scenarios. Like I did so going with the microwave concept again. We created scenarios, different scenarios. And then present each scenario with that particular case in a graphic manner. And what becomes a final animation is when all these scenarios are framed together and put up in an automated duration, which again I don't recommend for teaching. For teaching, let the frames be. Don't automate their timings. Okay, now coming to some design basics. So first and foremost thing, you should always have a look at your font, and it depends on what you're going to present. First one is serif. Serif is used for formal presentations. You see these little legs below. So there's R, there is I, F. Below this, there are legs kind of which are missing in RIF over here. Can you see that? So these little
Trisha
legs.
ma'am,
Yeah, hi.
Sorry to disturb you, but can you just present it in the presentation format, the
Oh,
PDF?
sorry. Yeah, I was supposed to do that. Better?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Please
Oh,
continue.
yeah. So, can you see these little legs? These means that these are serif fonts, and these are used in formal settings. So, if there is an external coming or there is some inspection, you'll want to use these fonts. When you're presenting to your students, you can choose between your style of teaching. So, if your style of teaching is very formal, use serif. If your style of teaching is kind of casual, use fonts which do not have these legs over here. It gives the whole presentation a look of it is, I don't get the word. But yeah, it's casual and the environment is very calm down. And then there's the display font. Display font should be sparingly used. It is used for only headers, like here, the design basics, which is written over here. That is a display font. You should maximum one or two on a slide, but otherwise it gets too cramped up. Okay. So yeah, and when you are putting contents, of course you want something bold, which is the subject. Then you write text. So what you put bold should be in the same family as that of your text. So if you are using Times New Roman bold for your, which is a serif font, okay, if you see it has these legs, Times New Roman. If you're using Times New Roman bold for your heading, then use Times New Roman non-bold or whatever that is called for your text. Use the same family of font unless you want to show contrast. If you want to show contrast, use a different color, use a different font, or in between something formal, you want to present something casual, then again you can use a sans serif in a serif kind of presentation. Colors. Okay, so yeah, so research shows if you use shades of blue, it shows a very complicated concepts in a little bit of easier manner. So generally, and it also calms the person down. So you'll see generally banks, they have these blue logos because a person has to be very calm down when he's investing his financial stuff. So blue color represents calmness and it helps in understanding complicated concepts. So blue is the shades of blue, any blue, not just this blue. You can use for your presentation. Then to highlight something, the most used highlighter, even in Adobe, you will see that the highlighter is by default yellow unless you want to change it. So yeah, for highlighting something, use yellow. And for interactive content, so had this been an offline presentation, I would have used some interactive content and there would have been shades of orange in this presentation. One presentation guidelines always have an outline, so the user knows. So the user knows when is he or she gonna end the presentation. Not just that, they can decide what they want to listen to and in which particular parts they can zone out, or they just know what you're gonna do. Then font size, do not use less than 24. In fact, so this is a 24 font which I have used. I don't know if it is very comfortable with you. Try and using greater than 30. So that will be the best. The number of slides should always be less than 20 or less than 21, basically 20. If it goes beyond that, you're going to either bore your user or you could have given the same presentation content in a Word document and the user could have read it. Beyond 20 slides, it doesn't make sense. Unless you are animating and there are various frames. So that doesn't count. Then the words in the slide should be minimum. Everyone knows that. And on slides, there should be only visuals and bullet points. Coming to the next topic, one line should not contain more than 10 words and don't have more than one line of such a line in your PPT. Have visuals and bullets. Try not having a lot of text on your PowerPoint. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll demonstrate how we can animate a particular thing using PPT and Canva. So I'll minimize this and I will show you this. So this is one thing which I made for demonstration. So first I'll show what it looks like and then we will see how to make it. Okay. Case 1. These are two doors, A and B, both are closed. And There's a wall over here. I couldn't show the wall very well. Okay, and there's a table which will be taking care of whatever we are presenting. So we are going to have four cases. And since both the doors are closed, like I discussed for the AND gate, both the doors are closed, and that will be 0 and 0. The status of the doors is 0 and 0. There's this guy who wants to cross, he cannot cross. So yeah, y is 0. Y is the output. You see, there are no words on the slide except for the word case. There are letters, there are numbers, there are pictures, but there are no words. Okay, moving to the next case. First door is closed, so A will be 0, B will be 1. And just notice that along with the appearance of each case, I'm ensuring that the numbers appear. I'm not going to discuss the numbers after I have discussed all the cases, so that the idea is ingrained. With each case, I'm discussing the numbers. Okay, the person is here. He can happily come out through the gate B. He is happy, and yeah, 1. Survive. Case 3, door A is open, so it will be 1, and B is closed, so it will be 0. So we have 1 and 0. The person can happily come out of door A, and so Y will be 1. And then the case 4, as you all know, both the doors are open. The person can happily come out of 1 or clear B, and yeah. And I have explained all this concept. You very well know what this is the truth table for. This is for the AND gate, and you can say this is how the OR gate functions. Okay, so this is the kind of animation I've created, and we'll just have a look about how to do this. Okay, so I'll take the slideshow coming to home, and I'll create a new slide, and I'll create exactly this thing for you. And while it might look something easy or something which you can do on your own, I'm sure you'll learn a concept or two while doing this. Yeah, so first and foremost, let's get the doors. So you can always go to online picture. Is my screen visible enough?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Go to online pictures. Then I like white doors, so that is why I went for white doors. Open and just pick any door. Open white door. I will just pick this guy, which was there in the previous slide as well. So this is my open white door. I need this. You can go again. Insert online pictures. Close white door. So you see what we are doing here is the first thing which we do for animation is we assign a human analogy or a human experience to the concept. So this is a big picture. What I'll do is I'll crop out the door because I did not get just the door. So in logic gates, what happens is signal travels from the input to the output. So what we did is we created an analogy of the signal traveling from the output to the input to people moving from one door to another. Okay, so this is a closed door which we'll be using for the 0, 0 case. So I'll just replicate this here. So we have two doors, and this is my 0, 0 case. The next case will be 0, 1. So I will copy this again. The next case is going to be 1, 0. So I put here. And PowerPoint has this great thing where it guides you to be in line with the other images on your slide so it doesn't look messy. Yeah, so these are my 4 cases. Okay. Then I need to tell my students which door is A and which door is B. So yeah, here we are. This is A. And this is B. And I can replicate the same. Control C, Control V for all the 4 cases. So yeah, now we know which Which door is A, which door is B, and it is very important to mark which case is which. Case 1. Case 2. Case 3. And we have the case 4. Okay, so we have got that. Now we need to put the picture of the person. So for that, we have this great tool called Pixton Characters. I will show you. It's a free add-in on PowerPoint. Just click on My Add-ins, then find more add-ins. You can go there, type PIXTON, that is Pixton. This is Pixton Comic Characters. Add, agree, you have to agree. Got it. And on your home screen, you'll see this tab called Pixton Characters. Click on that. Get started. And we show you a whole set of characters. So you'll have to pick a type you like. So last time it was a boy, let's pick a girl. Okay, I'm using this, not being racist, by using a very fair or a very dark skin. Choose a hair, I like this. So yeah, hair and an outfit. So I don't know, maybe this. And then you get the poses. So these are very important because you need to show the emotions of the various characters. Because if he's not able to come out of the door, he's either going to have a straight face or not going to be happy. So just pick out a pose which is not happy. I hope there is a pose in this character which is not happy. Yeah, maybe this one. No, that doesn't look like that. Maybe this one. Oh, I'm not happy. I couldn't get through the door. Okay, let's crop that because I don't need the whole thing. Because if I put the whole thing, the students will want to look at the character only. So this is the girl. There she is. She cannot go out, so nothing for this case. Now in case 2, she can go out, so let's choose a smiling girl. Yeah. This crop. And small. Sure, and when she comes out, it should be like, hooray, I could get out. Crop. She comes out of OBE. Now I think we can reuse the same set of characters. So this lady is here, but here she comes out of gate A. And this lady is here. And she can come out of either gate, but let's put her in the middle. Okay, so this is how you use Pixton characters. They are very useful for showing different human emotions. Now I'll need to insert the truth table. So for that I'll use this table. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first, I'll say case, say A, status of door A, status of door B, status of whether the girl could cross the door or not. And there are 4 cases, so 1, 2, 3, 4. As we know the truth table of this is where we are doing OR gate, so 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, sorry, that is 1. 1, 0, 1. Then we have 1, 1, 1. Now, like I showed you in the previous case, I was able to, show you case by case. So once this graphic was coming, this particular row was showing up. However, PowerPoint does not allow you to animate the contents in the table. So either the whole table will appear or the whole table will disappear. If you don't want that and you want the contents of your table to be animated case by case, first just create a copy of this, and for safekeeping, not for any animation purpose, we'll just keep it for safekeeping. Then Control X, cut it out, go to home, there's paste. In paste, go to paste special, and there's something called Windows Meta File. Okay, use that. So now this is a meta file in which all your content is grouped. So you ungroup it, say yes, and Windows has this thing where you need to ungroup it twice. Now that I've ungrouped it, you can see all content on this is selected. Now it has become separate entity. Every entity in this particular image has become separate. So you can click on it and animate it separately. Meanwhile, I'll just remove this table. We don't need this anymore. And apart from that, we had the all gate over here. So yeah, insert pictures, online pictures, and search for all gate. This is the one, ABY. We can use this. Insert. Remove this. And there is a text. We can just write this is OGate, or this is how the OGate functions. Okay. Now we have all the content ready. Now we just need to animate it on a case-by-case basis so that the students, so once you see this, you don't understand much of it, because if you know what is an OBE, you understand it, but the person who has never read about OBE does not understand it, because there is no text, and it is great. I really like it when there is no text on the slide, because a person cannot understand anything without your help, and that is where the teacher comes in. Just reading out the slides should help a student only after he has been explained that concept, or he is going through some online kind of video lectures kind of teaching. But otherwise, try and have all the visual but no text, and explanation should be such that only after you explain, the student should be able to make sense of the slide. Otherwise, just have a look at the slide. It looks so overwhelming. Now we'll animate. So let's go case by case. So we'll be presenting the case one first. I've selected that. Animations appear. I will want this to appear. Now I want this table to appear, so I'll select its contents as well. Appear. Appear. Okay. So always animate in the sequence in which you want to talk. Okay. So first I will show these doors. Then this table will come up wherein they will show, okay, this is the kind of truth table which I'm going to build as I talk about this whole story. Now, then I'll say, okay, gates A and B are closed, so their status will be 0. So I'll just select those. Appear. Okay. And then this lady will appear, and I'll tell, oh, she cannot go across the doors. So, you know, the output is 0. So, yeah, I'll animate that. Appear. So, this is case 1, done and dusted. Moving on to case 2. Okay, case 2, appear. Then we talk about the status of the doors. Because door A is closed, door B, appear. Then we say, oh, the lady, she can cross now and she can go through door B. So the lady appears, she can cross, and in the table, we say, okay, it is going to be 1. Appear. Then moving on to case 3 in a similar manner. Okay. There you are. Appear. Then we'll talk about the door status. A is open, B is closed. Appear. Then appears this lady. who can cross the door. So yeah, Y is 1 appear. And finally the case 4. It is possible that I missed out on something while doing this, but it's okay. Appear. Then the lady can cross using either of the doors. So appear. And yeah, there you are. The final text in the table. So we have animated the table, we have animated all the cases, after which we are going to really say, yeah, and this is how the OBE functions. While this looks like too much of work for one slide, once you have created something like this, you can reuse it forever and it is going to have a great impact on your students. So I think it is worth taking the page. Okay, now let's just see how it is animating. Maybe I made a couple of mistakes while animating, but let's see. Yeah, I missed all the doors. Anyway, so yeah, case 1, door A, door B closed. The table appears, it says 0, 0. The lady appears. If she cannot go, so 0. Case 2, door A closed, door B open. Lady appears, she can go, so Y is 1. Case 3, A, B 1 and 0. Lady can go, so Y is 1. Case 4, both the doors are open. Lady can go, this is 1. And this is how the OR gate can be explained using graphics. Okay, so having done that, we'll move on, we'll see how it can be done in Canva. So like I said, I really love PPT animations as compared to Canva. While Canva can give you great designs, the kind of animation, the kind of way you can present is great in PPT. So what I generally do is I use a combination of Canva and PPT. So the PPT, sorry. Thanks. Yeah, so the PPT which I have made, that I have made in Canva. What I try and do, so I'll just show you how to do the same thing like we did for the audit. This won't take so much of time. So PPT PowerPoint is time consuming. Yeah, you can just, so you log into Canva, you get an interface like this. You have all your designs. So these are all my designs I have created in the past in Canva. You can see the PPT is also right here. Apart from that, if you want to create a new design, you go here. And since we are doing it for a presentation, let's check on presentation. Yeah, here it is. So presentation. I go to presentation. Okay, there was one point which I talked about in between was use elements instead of photos to create your animation. So if you see elements, this is something like this. So if I type man in element, I'll get things like this. I'll get many different kinds. If I type man in photos, I'll get something like this. So you get a lot of background with the photos. If you want to animate or show a concept, or if you want to change their expressions, you won't be able to do that using photos. And when you use icons or elements, this guy, if I pick him up, I can change his color. Sorry, that would make him disappear. I can change his color. I can say, oh, he is red, he is angry. I can change his color to blue, oh, he is calm. In fact, what I can also do is, I can change his, I can, so I say angry eyes. Yeah, and I can put it, so right there, this doesn't look angry, but here. You got the gist, right? I can just put it there and make his emotions change. So that is what I say about not using photos but elements while designing our animations in Canva. And since everyone has access to free icons, so I'll just show you. Yeah, so this man is free. So even if you don't pay anything, you have access to this man or this element, this icon. So you can change the cases. Like in animation, we need different kinds of cases. You can change the cases using this kind of elements. Okay, let's now try doing the same animation using Canva. So the first thing which we did was we want doors. So open, close and open doors. I've already searched for it. This is a closed door, this is an open door, not very pretty, but yeah, you can use it. Let's use that. This is a closed door. We'll need 2 of these. Since we need to create 4 cases and reducing it. In fact, I can use the same. Well, just Control C, Control V. For the first case, open door. I need it to be of the same size of this. I can just put it on this and check. Okay. This is the open door. This is the closed door. So this is the case 0, 1. Then we have 1 and 0. And then we have 1 and 1. And if you don't like black too much, you can always change the color of this thing. Let's say blue. Yeah. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So this is what Canva looks like. This is how you can choose from elements. You can always use photos, but just see, if I would have used photos, I would have to take this, crop it, and then I don't know if I wouldn't have been able to change the color, or if I had used a person, I wouldn't have been able to change the emotions. So use elements when you're using Canva. Then you can use people like we did in text and characters. So that is something great in PowerPoint, which is not there in Canva. In Canva, I would use emoticons. Now I want angry emotion. Or sorry, I'm in photos. That is why it is coming weird. Emoticons. Yeah, there they are. Oh, I'm unable to get inside. So for the 0, 0 case, here we are. In this case, he sees the door is open. So yeah, I will be able to go on the other side. And once he gets to the other side, we can use a broader smiley or things like that. And in OR gate, the cases are the same. So just replicate. Yeah, so this is your case representation. The con of Canva is that you cannot animate this like you did in PowerPoint. So while the graphics here don't look great, but on Canva you can find great graphics. So what you can do is, once you have created one door or you have created one smiley, you can take a screenshot and use it in your presentation, and it looks great. Like, I'll just show you this. Like these doors, they look nice. This is from Canva. So in the interest of time, I did not want to search doors and what looks good. But yeah, this is how you can use Canva, and almost everything which you can think of on the earth. For that, there are elements as well as photos. You can choose as per your liking. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, so consider the OBE presentation again. First of all, we thought of the concept as a human person or a human experience. So the signal, we assigned a human, the text and character which we used, that the signal was made a human, and the experience was going through a series of doors, whether AND gate or OR gate. We just arranged them differently so as to represent the concept of AND or OR gate. But yeah, that was the experience we thought of. Then imagine how would a person behave in a particular scenario. So in the 0, 0 case, when the person was not able to get out, we gave him a straight face or an angry face or things like that. And when he was able to get out, we had the Yahoo or a smiling kind of emoticon. So that is something you need to imagine. And then create different cases to show gradual progression. So in the case of gates, it was not a gradual progression, but more of different states. But in the microwave case, it is a progression. So from no microwave to low intensity to high intensity microwave. So these are the three things you need to keep in mind when you animate something, when you want to animate a particular concept for presentation. I don't know if you have seen this one, but I feel that it's a great graphic representation of Ohm's law. Ohm's law graphic. Cartoon maybe. Yeah, I'm sure many of you must have seen this, but I really love this one, wherein they actually tell you what is going on. So this guy wants to go to the other side, who is the current. The voltage is pushing, okay, you go ahead. But the resistance, which is ohm, is stopping him, okay, don't go, don't go. So this tells me now, so a person who is not very well versed with the concepts, or a student who is new will always remember, oh, what is resistance, what is voltage, what is current. Like voltage drives current. Yeah, that is what I wanted to show. This was about the transmitter and receiver, what to avoid. Of course, you have a copy of this presentation with you, so you can refer it in case you need it. These are my Engram examples. If you like such examples, you can follow the link on the PPT. I post almost every day. You can use some of those concepts in your teaching presentations. And yeah, these are my coordinates. This is where you can reach out to me. I hope you had fun learning, and I hope it will be useful to you. Anytime if you need me, you can just drop me a message with any concept you want to animate or you need ideas. I'll be glad to help you. Yeah, that is it from my end. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. I hope everybody enjoyed that animated session. The way via which we can present complicated things in a simpler way. Many of the things we knew already, but I think many people might have got different insights. Like many pointers were there, which were very important, and many of us might not have known. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. Yeah, I would like to ask Prashant sir to say a few words.
Yeah, thank you so much, madam. I know you are busy, and from your busy schedule, you have spare valuable time to with us. As a token of appreciation, I have really liked your session. It was very short and sweet. Okay.
Thank you.
Now about as a token of appreciation, please accept a memento that we have made for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So. If there are any questions from the participant side, we will take that. Yes, dear participants. Actually, madam, they are all teachers from engineering institutes. So let us hope that we'll get some queries or anything. Yes, madam, I have one. Query related to the creation of animations. Are there any industries who are participating in this kind of activities, and the learning material is available?
Also, there are, but they are more into like the online platforms like Byju's or they create it and they use it for their own thing. Otherwise, you need to go to a 2D or 3D animator who will do this for you, but they charge really high. I think it is always good to use your own imagination and use PowerPoint or things like that to do this.
Exactly,
And
because yeah. Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
If you need any ideas, you can come up to me. I'll always be glad to help.
Yeah, exactly. No, what I realized that no Microsoft PowerPoint presentation also has got too much power to be utilized, and we should explore that. We should explore that.
Yeah.
Yes, as a teacher, no, making some good animations is very important while delivering the
Does
lecture.
take time, so we need to appreciate teachers to do that, and if we need such kind of if we need such kind of content, we need to give them time to do that.
Yes,
But yeah,
yes.
once it is done, it is going to be really helpful.
Yeah, it is like one-time investment, and we can use those animations repetitively to deliver the contents, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
This is
If there are no questions, then If you want to add
Oh,
anything,
no,
madam,
no. In the chat session, sir, there is
yes.
one question. There's a question by Harsh sir. In online lecture, how much time is good? Like length of the lecture, how much time should be given for the presentation? I think that is the meaning of that question.
Okay, so it depends on the content you want to complete in the particular semester, but I think given at one particular point of time, you should not talk more than 20 minutes and then present something or give something interactive for the students to do for 10 minutes and then again you can do it. The 20 minutes is the ideal time you should be talking, not more than that.
Okay, there is another question that I can see in the chat box. It says, ma'am, I use Canva most of the time to make posters and banner badges, but could you please tell me good features more than that, like something else?
Like I showed you, the presentation which I made was done using Canva. So once you say create design, it shows you a number of options. So you can choose one of those. I create, so like I said, I have an Instagram page called Engram where I talk about English grammar. So you can create Instagram stories and posts of that kind. Apart from that, there's this very cool feature, but it requires a little bit of effort. So like these frames which I have created, if you create on Canva, you can give each of the frames some timing and create a video out of it. It is something worth exploring. So yeah, that is something you can do. It's a very user friendly tool. So once you get on it, just don't get stuck to one part of what you have been doing before. Just explore the other features available, and it is very user friendly. A person like me could actually do it. So yeah, you can try it.
Yeah, anybody else has any question?
Ma'am, this is regarding UID number. I don't know what is my UID number, so can you please?
Yeah, ma'am, we will discuss that surely within 5-10 minutes. I will surely
Okay,
discuss
okay.
that.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
other query, ma'am?
No, no, no. The session was really good because we make the animation now. Ma'am has really helped us. Whatever difficulty we will face, ma'am, definitely we will write to you.
Please do.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay, I think that's it for the from the participant side. Thank you so much for your time. We really enjoyed the session. It was it will be like very insightful. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
I had fun too. It would have been great had I been there, but it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, sure,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
Okay. Yes, the regarding the UID, the query is that what I have done is I have sent a Excel sheet. In that you can see your name. Before the name there is a UID. I have shared this in the WhatsApp. I will share in the chat box as well the link. You can please refer to that sheet and check for your name and the UID. If your name is not there in the sheet, please let me know. I will look into that.